this episode, I hoist the sails and go out in the big deep blue. I sail and anchor at Peanut Island. I go ashore and discover everything the island has to offer. And then I weather through multiple storms both at anchor and out in the ocean. Woo! And then sunshine graces me at Miami, my old home port. So it's Saturday, the 26th, I believe. I left out early this morning. I had a perfect weather window, which was a straight northerly wind, about 15 miles per hour from the north. So it was perfect for me to escape the inlet, and then I got to be on the run for a little bit. So I had the sails split. As you can see, I'm almost a little bit still on the run, but now the wind is coming more from the west, or I'm sorry, the east, and so I'm about to make some minor adjustments to the sail once I pass this tanker. But anyways, I am on my way to Peanut Island in Palm Beach. It's an island that has no roads to it, so it's only accessible by boaters. It's supposed to be a pretty big party place. I'm a little bit tired right now, so I don't think I'm gonna join in, but what's sweet about it is that most of the partiers are on motorboats, and so they go there, drink a whole bunch, and then they leave to go back to their respectable homes, where us cruisers are able to stay on anchor and enjoy a quiet night on a secluded island. So it sounded real cool to me, and I figured it would make for some good video. I also wanted to say, if you're enjoying what I'm doing, you like these videos, please like, subscribe, and if you're really, really cool, share with friends and family too. You'd really be helping me out. Also, if you'd like to buy me a beer or help support in some way, I am also on Patreon, so patreon.com/sailingoutwardbound. I'm coming up on this tanker pretty close, so I'm gonna let you guys go. Alright, ciao. Big boy, they're coming from behind and from the side. There's Fort Lauderdale. Oh, those are some big guys. I love when you see the anchor all the way down. Yeah. here we are on Peanut Island. It's Palm Beach, if you will. Also, I guess part of Peanut Island is in Riviera Beach. Also, a part of it's in West Palm Beach. So I guess they all get to share it. It is a huge party place, especially on Sundays, but Saturdays also. To the point that almost like Mardi Gras, there are no rules. Even the police just make sure everyone is behaving. I'm sure some motorboaters and all that are going to get back in their car and go home, I'm sure they pick off some of them. But when you live in the Anchorage, you can see Outward Bound. She's the white one there. There she is, right there. She seems to be doing all right out there, not too lonely. She definitely has her behiney sticking out at me. You know, we don't have anything to worry about. You do have to worry about cruise ships though, and the big tankers. They do have pilot boats, sort of escorts for them, that will come by and warn you if there's one coming. But they're very strict, and they'll give tickets if you're invading their space and or slowing them down at all. One of the big cruise ships here is Celebration. It must be like a 48-hour cruise ship, because we get the privilege of hearing it come in and out quite often, and they're always blaring techno music. So, you know, maybe I wouldn't complain if it was reggae. But here is the Lake Worth Inlet, one of my favorite inlets because it's so short. But it seems like they have renamed it Palm Beach Inlet. So I don't know which one to tell you to call it, but normally on charts it's Lake Worth, but when you come in, it's there's a big sign that says Palm Beach Inlet. This little taxi here brings people from mainland onto the Peanut Island, because Peanut Island has no roads, so it's only a boater's paradise, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I would highly recommend, if you're on your way, you know, I've been to a lot of anchorages and cool places, but this by far has everything you need. Riviera Beach Marina is just a dinghy right away. So here is actually the Dinghy Dock. I guess at low tide, I guess you can get in and out if you have 4-foot draft. So if you have a small sailboat, a lot of motorboaters come up in here, and also of course dinghies. Again, I must reiterate that Palm Beach is an uppity place, which is a good thing, but also they are quick to fine people. I actually got a $73 fine for having my registration on the starboard side. I had to get a whole nother sticker, and they still fined me $73, knowing that I'm not gonna come back here to try and fight it, and then I'll just send the money to them. So whatever, if that's the cost of me coming and seeing this great place, it's the fee, hey? I live with it. Now there are a lot of derelicts. Well, I'd call them derelicts because I don't think they ever leave. But they feel they found their paradise, and so good for them, right? It's just, you know, if you just want to be here because there's a big party every weekend and you're right off of a park, it's kind of lame. But again, good for them. Here on the south side of Peanut Island, we have Riviera Beach Marina. And there is the Dinghy Dock. You can get water and all that good stuff. But this is where you would get your diesel or your gasoline. It's when a big thunderstorm came, and unfortunately I took damage on my solar panels. So I ended up hoisting the sails and getting a change of scenery. Wings wide open. I think I'm passing Fort Lauderdale. It is really calm seas. There's a rogue wave. Look. You can tell that no one's made that, it's just coming out of nowhere. Look at that. Gotta get ready for that bad boy. But anyways, I'm averaging about 3.5, 4 knots today. Unfortunately, it's from NOAA.gov, there is a storm coming off of the west coast of Florida. Looks like I have a couple hours to make some headway, and hopefully I'll miss it all. It's way too calm of a day, if you ask me. I'd rather have a little bit of ruckus out here and fly, you know. But again, I'm only going about 4 miles at the most, or 4 knots at the most, and as you can tell, there's just no wind. That's why there's no waves, but it's because there's a storm coming from the west, and so that's why I'm trying to head as south as possible and make like a duck in wintertime. There's no wind in sight. Ah, it's annoying. And the boom keeps going back and forth, back and forth. I'm trying to get out of this becalmness. It is torturous because all the flies and all the black bugs and all that come on the boat, and so I'm motoring, and hopefully this means wind. But anyways, I just ended up motoring, and now I just have to stay out where the ripples are and not where it's nice and smooth. So fingers crossed that it works, because I'm about to go insane. I'm mentally strong for all things except for flies bugging all over me. I'm sailing! Woo! I sound like What About Bob? But I'm only fucking sailing 2 knots. Actually 1.9 now. But at least I'm not in the fly trap over there, so we can call this progress. And then all at the same time, I had complications. Not only did the storm come finally, but I also had issues with the halyard that goes into the roller furling. Back onto my way. Back on course. Life is good. Plus, to get to know your boat is always worth money. I'm running from this big ass storm. It's on its way to the Bahamas, but it's definitely trying to get me. But they can't catch me. There's lightning off to our starboard side, which would be the east. There's some systems that are coming from the west going east, some coming from the east coming west. That's why I'm heading north, because that's the only reasonable looking sky to me. Plus you get a beautiful view and killer wind to ride on. glad I escaped that. Although it's worth the rush. I hope my mom and dad aren't watching. All night, actually, I've been jumping up north and south of the coast, dodging these guys coming from east to west. I did just get an hour of sleep, which was really, really neat. But I woke up right in time to pick up and move somewhere else. I'm just heaving to, which means I'm not setting anchor, so I'm able to escape real fast. Plus, I'm able to set back up in a new spot real fast also. So, but also when you heave to, you're still going maybe a knot or two in the direction of the storm, of the wind. I also have to take that into consideration. I am the most worried about lightning, so that's what I'm running from first. And then second, I'm worried about high gust wind with the sails being out. And then realistically, the rain is all just an inconvenience. So you know, that's what foul weather gear's for. It's a free shower anyways. This is always a welcoming sight. A break in the clouds. I think I chose right by going up north. This system is actually heading out to the east, out to the Atlantic. The Bahamas will get all of that, unfortunately, and it continues on as a big wall. Down there is Miami. Thank goodness I took the radar from NOAA.gov. I reanalyzed, made sure that the winds were going in particular directions. Went with that, made an educated guess, and that's why I'm still here and reasonably dry. Woo woo! I got that going for me. Life is good. The ironic thing about heaving to is that you're putting one sail against the wind, the storm, and then the main sail is going with the wind, the storm. So they actually counterbalance each other out, cancel each other out. Plus, you're putting the helm or tiller in all the way into the wind also, and locking it there. And so here you are, you're going up against a storm system, but you're also pointing into it, and you are at the least going a half knot into the direction that the storm front is. So as you can see, I can finally breathe. All the storm systems seem to be going away from me. Down in South Miami and Key Largo, they are for some odd reason going west. So I'm gonna hang out here. I'm gonna try and get another few hours of sleep. Just have a good cityscape to my stern. So, and then the sunshine, and then the welcoming party came to greet me in Miami. Alright, it's time to bring someone on board. Here we have the list of all my Patreons. This is how I can show my love for all of you. So, Michelle Franklin, welcome aboard, milady. If you would like to come on board and go on a trip or whatever you'd care for, just get in touch with me, okay? I would love to have you on board. Mwah! Cheers, guys. Thank you again, all of my patrons.